Also with me in the studio is Mr. Naresh Arora. He is a director of DesignBoxed and also someone who's managed a campaign, maybe come into a little too late. You know, Naresh, I'm just going to quickly quote from a Kamal Nath interview to us, which we are going to play a little later, where he says if the Congress had made the changes in Haryana earlier, results would have been much better. You think you got the campaign late? You think the campaign should have begun earlier? You think those changes should have been made earlier?
Well, I cannot comment on the changes, but definitely the campaign, if it was a month ahead from when it started, probably the results would have been starkly different. But I'm seeing the figures on your screen, but the figures are not matching with the EC figures. The EC figures tell us it is 37-35. So I'm still putting my bets on BJP under 40 and Congress around 35.
Okay. And you know, Naresh, when you began designing the campaign for the Congress party in the state, you know, they're saying that, you know, Khattar, Devendra Fadnavis perhaps are not that big a factor. The biggest factor is Modi. And the Congress party still doesn't have, you know, someone who can stand up to Modi. At some point of time, when you were making the strategy, were you worried about the Modi factor?
We were not worried about the Modi factor. What we were more worried about was that whether we'll be able to disseminate the Congress message to the grassroots or not. We were not worried about any individuals we were taking or planning against. We were only wanting to see that which issues matter. I have a divergent view from what Maria said, that it is only the caste factors which have played in. In fact, if you would see the data points, the Jat vote has split between the Congress and the JJP, which was expected as well. And that has led to the situation that it is that the Congress is way short of the majority mark but still doing fairly well. It is only because quite many communities have come forward. If you will see later on when the deeper analysis happens, the government employees have voted en masse against the BJP. That is one major factor which will be the end result of this election.
Certainly, I think caste has played an important role. We cannot say that caste has been subsumed.
But you know,
the larger sentiment was
the corruption-free image of a Khattar versus someone like a Hooda who has those corruption allegations against him. Were you worried about that as well?
People were happier in Hooda's regime. For example, they were power sufficient and they became power deficit. The people had their issues on the ground, which the government jobs and other things, the lucrative part, didn't counter well.
You know, there is a question which I was asking you because, you know, Chautala and the Hooda are supposed to have a little bit of a connect. Many of the rebel Congress MLAs actually have been contesting on the JJP ticket. Were you actually told, let's be candid, were you actually told that go a little soft on Chautala, let us focus our attack on Khattar and the BJP?
There was no such brief to us. Our brief was clear and direct, the positive campaign and the negative campaign. The negative campaign, of course, because it was an incumbent government, there were a lot of issues which we could play with. That is where Pehle Report and Fir Vote campaign came in, and then it was IPK Congress in which the Congress manifesto was disseminated. There was no such brief of going soft or going something special on Chautalas. Nothing like that.
But many of these independents who are going to play a very critical factor, did you do the campaign for them? Because many of them are believed to be Congress people also.
Our brief was for the party, not for the independents, of course.
But were you told by Hooda at some point of time that inko bhi thoda sa madad kar do, hamare hi bande hain?
We were only mandated to run the Congress party's official campaign. Inherently, I feel that BJP will, if BJP is under 38 or 37, they will not make a push. What I feel, they would want other combination to happen, and then they would want that. Let's see that how things play out. Because Modi and Amit Shah, because Amit Shah was directly not involved in this election process, or so to say, in the ticket distribution was left to Mr. Khattar. He was the face of the campaign. He was in his name. You've never seen a campaign, even in Maharashtra, that the campaign was in the name of the Chief Minister. Even their main slogan was in the name of the Chief Minister here in Haryana. So they would rather want to distance themselves from power for now and just give a moral message that no, mandate is not for us. I have a feeling. It's not information.
So, Mara, before quickly going to make, you think that's correct? The use of social media, which Pratik is talking about. Now, the use of social media, I never saw a Bhupinder Hooda or a Kumari Shelja aggressively tweeting for their personal handle, so to say. Was that also a conscious policy? You would rather have your campaign being pushed by the social media handle of the Congress party?
See, Pallavi, I have been saying repeatedly, the campaign was party specific. They were focusing on a positive agenda and highlighting the non-governance or the misgovernance.
Is that a change in style of the Congress party now?
I cannot say that it is for there to stay, but for Haryana, it was a concentrated effort, and there were some attacking tweets wherever we felt that there was a need to attack on a particular issue or a particular instance or a particular incident that was very calibratedly done. But we were not going overboard with just attacking because people want solutions to their problems. People just don't want retaliation.
realization, which has come in a little bit too late, Naresh, after what happened to Rahul Gandhi's attack mode in the 2019 Lok Sabha
That is
election.
for the party to answer. I am not a party spokesperson.
But was that the kind of a message which was given by the party strategists that, you know, let's not do personal attacks, focus on the governance?
Definitely. There was a clear party message to us from everywhere, from the PCC president, from the CLP leader, and everyone that the message has to be the positive.
That's very interesting. Yeah. That's an interesting change in style. I really have to wrap.
And I want to add one more point.
Yeah, we are just running out of time.
Prateek mentioned about the social media numbers, but just to give a data point to Prateek, that Congress beat everyone in social media this time. That data is out in public for verification.
And Pallavi, even in JJP, all political rallies, whenever our leader used to term as Mr. Khattar and Honorable Prime Minister, they were never into the personal attacks.